It's amazing I never saw till today how foolish, son, I have been. Grass is not greener here, nobody cares. I know. Prodigal son will come home. I lost everything I had to find out what I needed. I had all along. Now I'm leaving this place. I only see my Father's face. Hear him say, son, welcome home.
It's lonely away from Father's house.
I was still a great way from my Father's.
You remember Zack?
He came running to meet his lost son.
Had all kinds of excuses.
I said, your servant, I'll be. Oh, but he never heard me. He said, my prodigal son has come home.
How about that?
He's still setting my place at the table. He's still calling my name in prayer. Now I'm in the right place. I'm just a trophy of grace. The prodigal son has come home. That parable Jesus tells,
Come on, buddy.
he says a father had two sons.
Yeah.
And the one asked of him his part of the inheritance. And it said he went off and he blew it all on riotous living.
Yeah.
And there was a famine in the land that he had gone to, and when he found himself destitute and broke, he says he joined himself to a citizen of that country.
Sold himself.
Yeah, slavery back then wasn't like we think of it here in the United States, where slave ships went over and captured people and brought them back here. It wasn't a race-based thing. You could be a slave if your country lost a battle. You could be a slave if you were poor and had no other option. You could sell yourself into slavery, and it wasn't necessarily a lifetime thing. You could pay the price to get yourself back out, but it was kind of like pawning yourself off. You used yourself and your work as collateral. What happened was this boy had found himself in such a bad situation. His dad obviously had some means, but here he was. He'd blown everything he had. He was as low as he could go, and he sold himself into slavery. And we know that he comes to himself there as he's slopping the hogs. and says that, you know, even the servants in his father's house have it better.
Yeah. I blew it.
And he makes up his mind to go home.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just as simple as, oh man, I messed up, I better go back and ask Dad to forgive me. There was all kinds of social stigma that went along with it. I mean, if you disrespected your parents in the way that this boy did, you were as good as dead. The Old Testament gave him the right to take you out and stone you.
Yeah.
But more than that, he had entered into an agreement with a slave master
Yeah.
that couldn't just be forgiven, forgotten.
Yeah, no.
There was no, oh, well, buddy, I got to go home and see my dad. No, you don't understand.
I own you now.
Own you now. So when he goes back and he finds forgiveness in the Father's house, it's not just a matter of putting a new coat on that boy's back. It's not just a matter of giving him a pair of shoes. It's not just a matter of putting a ring on his finger and killing the fatted calf and welcoming him back
Come on,
home.
son.
There is a price that has to be paid
Yeah, he had
for
to be
that
redeemed.
boy's freedom.
Yeah. Man, this is good. You know what?
And he had already spent his half of the inheritance.
Yeah.
So why does the older brother get mad? Because whatever that dad is going to have to pay to buy that prodigal son back is going to have to come out of the other son, the faithful son's half.
Bye, bye, bye.
I wasn't worthy to be redeemed from the
No.
slavery that I had found myself in. I got myself into that mess.
Come on, buddy.
But I got an elder brother that is not anything at all like the one in that story. When I found myself in slavery and in sin, my elder brother didn't say, "Why should we buy him back, Dad?" I was here. My elder brother said, "Father, whatever it takes. Not my will, but thine be done." I was still a
Listen
great
to
way
this. Listen to
from
this.
my father's house. He came running to greet his lost son. I said, "Your servant, I'll be." Oh, but he never heard me. He said, "My prodigal son has come home. Now he's still setting my place at the table. He's still calling my name in prayer. Now I'm in the right place. I'm just a trophy
I'll be
of
good.
His grace. Prodigal son has come home.
I was about to turn Jessica loose, but she's going to have to wait a minute.